let's talk about the Nets because they came back from this 28-point deficit. Mikal Bridges, 38-10. He had 45 against the Heat. People are not talking about that. Mikal Bridges has had great offensive performances against top 10, top 5 level defenses. And Mikal Bridges had two 30-point games in 365 games with the Suns. In 8 games with the Nets, he has 3 30-plus point games already, which is just showing his offensive growth. Like I said, he's averaging 25, and I know that Drew's going to like this a lot. Cam Johnson with the Nets is averaging 19 a game on efficiency that seems sustainable. He's shooting 48% from the field and 35% from three.
I got to take this off. I'm hot.
No, it's hot in here. Yeah.
It's
hot in here.
I feel amazing.
Yeah, Riv is never cold. I'm never hot.
I had to unzip my jacket. I'm like uncomfortable.
But the downside of this is that the Nets are 2-6 since the trade. Two of those losses have been close losses.
The one to the Bulls was not.
The one to the Bulls was not.
The shit out of them.
The Sixers loss was. The Hawks loss was. Two of the losses were very close. And Mikal has been on this trajectory in the last 15 games with the Suns. He's averaged 22. So now we're going to do a little mojo long and short. You know, mojo's where you can invest money into players. You can either invest on their price going up or their price lowering. I don't know about you guys, but recently I had shorted Ben Simmons.
Good move.
Ben Simmons was at $108. Once the news came out of his recent injury, he dropped $8, and I got a 32% return on him for doing that.
He got a knee injury from rehabbing his back. Was that what it was?
I think it was something like that.
It was some real Ben Simmons shit.
I jumped on my grandma's account because I got her on Mojo. I made her invest into Jonathan Kuminga and Cam Thomas. No, I had to. After last night, I said nah.
You think Cam Thomas is gonna have his price go up?
Yeah,
I worry.
I think at some point you have to realize offense is better than defense. And Cam Thomas is probably if not your best, number 2 best offensive weapon. So he's going to have to start eventually.
Cam Thomas, I think people got excited about his 40-point games. I'm a big Cam Thomas fan. I am.
Yvonne hates the defense. He can't defend.
He doesn't pass.
Yeah.
That's another issue.
He's one of the worst passers in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he's
and
still
Jaden
super
Hardy.
young.
But staying on the Nets topic, and even though, it was Cam Thomas, staying on this mojo long and short, if you had to pick one player to really thrive big time and somebody you want to put your money into on Mojo between Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, who are you going with?
What's Cam Johnson's price? Do you have that for
Cam
me?
Johnson is at $84 now. Since he's joined the Nets, he went up $8. So he was at $76. He's at $84 now. Mikal is plus $10 in the last month. Went from $152 to $162.
I think you got to go with Cam because he's the cheaper player. And, yes, the volume's still going to be there. Mikal's going to be the number 1 option. I think I'm not a huge supporter of Spencer Dinwiddie being a key player in the Brooklyn Nets. I think next season, because he's on a friendly, he won't be on the Nets. I don't believe so. So it'll leave a little bit more room for Cam and Mikal to both grow. But with that being said, given the fact that Cam Johnson's price is significantly lower than Mikal's, it makes a little bit more sense to invest in him since I do believe in his talent and I do believe in his potential.
That's tough.
I'd probably still be going with Mikal here. Neither of these guys feel like long-term options for the Nets, right? They're kind of in limbo in terms of their franchise. They could go a bunch of different ways in the offseason. So it's not like you're looking at either of them as the franchise or the face of the Nets. So if either of them do move on, I feel like Mikal is going to bring more to a championship-level team being that second or third option.
I would say gambling is extremely hard. And for you to gamble, you have to take a risk in the jump. And with Cam Thomas, he seems like the biggest risk. I think Bridges is more of the safe pick in terms of maybe he can definitely up his price. But with Cam, you say he's at $84.
Cam Johnson.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about
Cam Thomas not even on Mojo yet?
Yeah, a lot of
if that's the case,
a lot of young players.
I am taking Bridges. I'm taking Bridges pretty comfortably.
Respect Cam Johnson. I know you're not sleep on Cam Johnson, so this is why you're shocking me right now.
I just think
Mikal is a better player.
Is the better player.
Undeniable.
He has more room to grow.
Your reason was valid though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Cam Johnson has been up. He's went up more percentage points and dollars than Mikal Bridges in the last month. Cam Johnson has the most room to grow big time. But I just think Mikal Bridges is more of a consistent investment. Mm-hmm. I think Mikal Bridges, anywhere he goes, he's going to have a really solidified and stable role. Where Cam Johnson, right now on the Nets, he's the second option, the second scoring option specifically. But if Cam Johnson goes to another team in the offseason because his contract is up. Is he going to be the second option? Probably not. He's probably going to go back to being a fourth, fifth option, scoring 13, 14 a game, where I think Mikal can actually be somebody the Nets are invested to long-term to being a number 1, number 2 option. And I think from this point on, we can expect Mikal to be a 20-point-per-game scorer.
I don't disagree.
Cam is actually older than Mikal Bridges.
He is. They're around the same age, though, but yeah, he's like slightly older than him.
Claxton is at
27, and
$108.
Mikal just turned.
He's 26
Claxton there.
He doesn't turn 27 until August.
Yeah. So that's why I'd go Mikal.
I don't know. I just like Cam Johnson. Just
doesn't get hurt either.
His game just feels to me like really, really good role player.
Absolutely.
As opposed to Bridges can be, like you said, maybe the number
Good
2.
starter on a
Maybe the
team.
number 2 to number 3. I don't know
It's
about
not
number 1.
crazy. He could be like the number 3 on the championship team.
For sure.
Bridges?
Yeah.
He already was, technically.
He could develop into
He
that
can
for
definitely
sure.
be a number 3. I
Since-
don't.
And
Cam
he
seems
fits
like
easy with any
Cam
team.
seems like the 4th, 5th guy on a starting championship team. I don't know. His game just seems like that.
It's
to
a
me.
regular
Number 3, I would say everything would have to go like extremely right. Number 4 for sure, though. Number 4 for sure.
Since I was going to talk about it in This Week in the NBA, but I'm curious. If you plug and played Mikal into the Knicks, are you chatting about them being real title contenders
Instead of RJ Barrett?
instead of RJ Barrett?
Did I ask you this on the last show?
No doubt.
What the fuck are we doing?
If you had Mikal instead of RJ on the Knicks,
Okay.
are they title contenders?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not title contenders.
No,
though. We
Alvaro
can
brought
make
it up. I did bring this up
Did
on
you
the
make
last
the
show.
ECF?
Alvaro called me like last week and said if we had Mikal instead of RJ Barrett, we could win a championship. I said you have your fucking mind.
I think win a championship was very strong, but I don't think ECF's crazy.
This is why
That,
like
you would wait.
This is why like
DJ
I want. I'm happy for the Knicks.
Saying
but also-
crazy.
chat.
It's not crazy.
Wait,
In the
wait.
chat, DJ Mabenga made a great point.
Let's hear it.
Mikal can be like a Chris Middleton type scorer.
That's valid.
And
I think that's
I feel
perfect.
like
I
everybody
actually
could.
think my comp is Chris Middleton.
Not everybody can. Not everybody.
And I feel like everybody uses Chris Middleton as like
It's because
crutch.
that's like he's like the
Mikal has
most
similar game
mid,
to him.
really good
yes,
player.
Yes.
Outside of the pick and roll ball handling, I think like in terms of them getting to their spots in the mid range,
Yeah.
Mikal is similar. Mikal this year, he's shooting 42% from mid range and 49% of his shots are unassisted this year.
I just want. I'll probably wait. I want to see him like probably next year when he's more like teams are understanding of more like all right, he's the number 1 option.
Yeah.
We have the game plan to because Bridges is catching a lot of people by surprise to a degree. So I would love to see him next year in a more defined role. He's the number 1 option. Your teams are scheming against you. Then we'll really get to see like all right, what's Mikal Bridges' vibe, you know? But that Knicks shit, no. No. ECF, that's still strong. That means they would have to beat the Bucks or the Celtics. I don't know if Bridges is the one that puts it over. You know,
No, Alvaro thinks that they could beat the Celtics this year.
type shit.
Yeah.
He's a Knicks fan. He's
He is.
diehard, actually. So you know what?
Die hard.
I ain't mad at him for it.
Neither am I. But that's
I
why
think we can beat
I
the
find it
96
harder
Bulls.
and harder to root for the Knicks when I hear that type of shit from Knicks
I just
fans.
wanted to bring up the conversation because I knew that it would get you a little angry.
Yeah, no, for sure.